Hey, what's up you guys, the Curious Owl here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my TBR for the Winter 2019 Biannual Bibliothon. At this point, it is a few days before the Bibliothon actually starts, and I wanted to be able to get this video out so I can show you guys what I'm going to be reading for it. This is completely separate from my January TBR, which I have already posted at this point, so you can go ahead and check out the books that I have planned on to read throughout the rest of this month. The Biannual Bibliothon for this round is going to be going from Saturday, January 12th to Friday, January 18th. In those days, we are able to read up to 7 different books, meaning 7 different challenges, but for the purposes of my week, I'm actually going to be reading 5 different books that are going to meet those 7 different challenges, as you are able to double up on some of the challenges if you are able to. The first book is actually the group book, which I'm also using for one of the other challenges, which is to read an author that is new to me, and that is Empress of All Seasons by Emiko Jean. This is a really interesting story, as it's kind of The Bachelor, but in a way more higher stakes version of it, if that makes sense. Because this is basically a tournament where females are supposed to go into this competition going against all 4 seasons. There are 4 seasonal rooms that they must compete in, and if they beat all of those rooms, they are then able to marry the prince of this world that is involved. But the rule is there are no yokai or demons or spirits that are supposed to be involved with this tournament. They are not allowed to be in it. And our main character, Mari, is a yokai. That ensues a lot of problems for her, and also there are other problems associated within this world, as the prince, who is the one everyone is fighting for, doesn't even want a part in this entire thing. He wants to be completely out of this entire event, but he has no choice as he is the prince. Mari also then befriends a half yokai, half human individual who also may involve the third part to a love triangle that may be going on within this story, which I'm very excited about, as I do love me a good love triangle. This is also a new to me author, as Emiko Jean, I believe this is her debut novel. I'm not 100% sure on that, but this otherwise would be a debut novel for me for this author, because this will be the first thing I've ever read from her. This is the group book, so everyone in the Biannual Bibliothon is going to be reading this throughout the course of the week, as there will be a live show at the very end of the Biannual Bibliothon with the Bibliothon host to discuss the book itself. The second book on my TBR is Strange the Dreamer, which is actually meeting a challenge where there are 5-star recommendations from each of the hosts, and you get to pick one. This was Red's recommendation, and it actually has been a novel I've been wanting to read for quite some time, as the second book in the duology just came out at the end of 2018, and I've heard very good things about it, and I really want to be able to read it, as it sounds very fascinating. The third book is The Secret Order of the Gum Street Girls by Elise Primavera. This is a book that is meeting the challenge of a book that got you into reading. So this is a reread challenge, basically, and this book in particular is a book that I remember vividly reading when I was in elementary school, when I was really getting into reading, and I love this book so much, as it kind of plays on a Wizard of Oz story in a way. This particular copy that I have actually was gifted to me by my grandfather before he passed away, so this has a very special place in my heart regardless, and I will treasure this copy throughout the end of time, but it's also one of my favorite novels from my childhood, so I really wanted to give it another chance. The fourth book is going to be counting for 2 challenges, and that is London Bridges by James Patterson. This is completing the challenges for an adult genre book, as this is an adult mystery thriller, part of a series, actually. This is like the 10th book in the Alex Cross series, I think, and it is also meeting a challenge for a cover you don't like. And, you know, I don't really like this. I don't really know the purpose of it. I feel like the title just completely overrides any kind of the cover that we might have gotten. This is going to be finally getting me back into the Alex Cross series, which I haven't been picking up at all in the last 2 years. I read the last book a couple years ago, but I remember nothing of what happened. I'm excited to get back into this, as Alex Cross is one of my most favorite mystery thriller series, one of my most favorite James Patterson series of all time, and is pretty much the reason why I started writing my mystery novel in the first place, and I just want to know what the heck happens to Alex now. And the 5th and final book, which will be completing my challenges for this readathon, is The Merciless 2 by Daniel Vega. This is completing the challenge for your least favorite genre and combining it with your favorite genre. My least favorite genre is horror, because I don't really care for horror that much. It's something I'm not really that into as of yet, but my favorite genre is thrillers, which is kind of like the less extreme version of horror, and this is definitely a thriller story. The Merciless I read in high school, and I loved it. It was probably one of the only horror-based novels I have ever been able to get through, besides maybe some Stephen King that I have read since then. but I loved this story, and because it is continuing on that story from the first book, I thought this would be a great mashup of my least favorite genre and my favorite genre of all time, and then also continuing with a series that I have not touched in about 4 years now. So there you guys go. That is the TBR for the Biannual Bibliothon that I'm going to be hopefully following over the course of that week. Whether or not I'm going to get to all 5 of those books, I don't really know. Anyway, if you are also participating in the Winter 2019 Biannual Bibliothon, go ahead and leave me your TBRs down below as well. I'd love to see what everybody else is reading, and if there's anything that maybe I don't know that I should check out, because there are definitely a lot of other books I don't know about that I should check out, and I love hearing your guys' recommendations and stuff like that. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy this video, please do give it a big thumbs up, and if you're not already and you'd like to be, hit the button down below and subscribe to become an owlet in our flock, and I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye guys!